like the emergency that it is, because it's our future that is on the line. The emissions that we're producing are literally killing people in other parts of the world. I'm scared for the sea levels to rise and increase conflict and droughts. And what is the end? Like, it's just gonna keep going if we don't do anything. I'm doing everything I can to contribute to this movement to stop the biggest challenge that humanity has ever faced.
The thing you have to understand about Rebecca Hamilton is that she's not just being dramatic. She really sees this as the fight of her life.
Now we're gonna march back to Vancouver Art Gallery where we're gonna hear more speeches. I believe that we will.
And for all the reasons you might think she's just another teenager, know this. All these people you see here, Rebecca's the one who got the ball rolling. This is a climate strike. They've been happening every month, like clockwork. Students taking over the streets of Vancouver, trying to push the grown-ups into making climate change a priority.
System change, not climate change.
If BC isn't going to take the action needed to stay below 1.5 degrees of warming, who is?
System change, not climate change.
The very first one, Rebecca organized, inspired by an activist even younger than her. You've heard the name Greta Thunberg?
Thank you for standing up for climate and for speaking the truth.
She's the young girl who at 15 began protesting outside the Swedish parliament, one day on strike every week. Rebecca, like Greta, just another normal kid trying to change the world.
So a motion was put forward to get the city to write letters.
It's Friday afternoon. After a flurry of exams, school is out, but there's still work to do and always new people to bring into the fold.
Yeah, I'm Owen. I'm new to this organization.
Everyone's input matters, and those green circles you've been seeing Rebecca wear, symbolic of that sense of community, its connection to nature, and even the shape of the planet itself. For Rebecca, most of her free time is dedicated to the cause.
We say we're a nonpartisan organization, but our existence is like inherently political and partisan.
She has a network, other teens across the country, like-minded and urgently wanting to roll up their
What we
sleeves.
need to ensure is that places where strikes need to happen.
Every day, they plan their next moves, all sights set on the federal election in October. And they've come a long way.
Do you remember how that first strike went?
Yeah. So I brought a bunch of people together across Vancouver, and we just came together and started organizing, and it was really exciting. None of us knew what we were doing. We were like, okay, so we want to do this action. We want to get media there. We want to have a bunch of youth, but what do we do now?
Turns out, organizing a movement is a bit like a dog chasing a moving vehicle. Feels impossible, and even if you catch up, then what? In Rebecca's case, that moving vehicle is full of grown-ups.
They can say, yes, I support you. A lot of these conversations we have with adults and politicians, they come back to this concept of what's realistic. And they say yes, we recognize that this is a big problem, but we need to be realistic if we want to take any action.
Being loud doesn't guarantee being heard. So today, Rebecca's trying to refine the message. She's come to Greenpeace for help.
Hey, how's it going? Come on in. How's things? Did you just almost fall?
It's crystallizing these things into a demand. And what's the demand?
Actually, this is the problem we have. It's hard to balance being cool to the youth while also being palatable to the adults and how much we should be,
Yeah.
We were thinking of trying to set up workshops or something to teach kids how to talk to their parents about climate change.
Cute. How to have the talk.
I could just see that as a line. It's about to get existential. There's a moment when I recognize that literally nothing else matters if our planet can't support life. That it's really useless to have dreams for the future, and that all the progress we've made as humanity and as a civilization will be for naught if our world continues to descend into ever-increasing chaos because of climate.
You're a student, too.
In theory, yes.
How are you finding time for all of this?
It's very hard to balance. It's really difficult to balance with school. And we're in a crisis. We're trying to save the future of civilization, and my math mark just doesn't feel very relevant. And so it's really difficult. It's very frustrating.
So do you know how long your test is tomorrow?
Nope. like an hour and 10 minutes or so.
It's not just frustrating for Rebecca either. That much you can read on her mom, Carolyn's face. She worries Rebecca may be sacrificing more than just her math mark, that this fight has become her entire life.
It's very frustrating for me, and of course I feel bad then that I'm sort of getting angry and frustrated over that, and I would not want her having any regrets. I think this is, as she calls it, the movement of her generation.
Are you ready?
The task is immense. They are trying to save the world, but every footstep is proof. Progress is possible. Minds can be changed. And so the plan from here, keep ramping up until the grown-ups finally start listening.